With Madden 19 just around the corner, I wanted to take a look at the legends that are going to be in the game on opening day. So let's go over that in this video. Hey, this is Time Bomb. If it's your first time checking out the channel, hit that subscribe button to catch all the updates. Alright, thanks a lot for joining me here today. Like I said, I'm just going to go over some of the new legends that are in Madden 19 on opening day. So they've added some new ones and brought back a lot of the familiar ones. The way that the legend upgrade set is going to work is the same as it has in previous years. You simply just add in the lower versions of him to get that ultimate edition, not the ultimate edition, this initial legend version, and then of course I'll upgrade them later in the year with an ultimate legend version, very likely. But let's take a look at the stats that we're going to see on these cards, just because I want to kind of get excited and go over them here that we're seeing. So first off is Randy Moss, who is looking great. He's looking like one of the best wide receiver, if not the best wide receiver in the game right now. Like when I'm taking a look at his stats, he pretty much has the best catching, one of the highest speeds, and that's going to make a huge difference early in the game, having a player like this in your lineup. The next player I see here is Champ Bailey, who was one of the upgradable power-up players last year, so we saw him a lot. This year's version, when I take a look at the stats, he's pretty high in man coverage and zone coverage. I'm really excited to see if man coverage is going to be viable. So a player like this, who's got both man and zone, it's kind of nice so you can run either scheme and kind of figure it out early in the year. So that might be a legend that you're looking to go for if you're trying to figure out how exactly you're going to be playing defense. Steve Young is actually looking like maybe the best quarterback in the game out of the gate. It's tough to say, but he's up there amongst them. He has pretty good mobility. Seems like he has decent stats with all his throwing and throw power. He's very solid. I think the most solid that we've seen of any QB so far when I was looking through. So I'm excited to try him out for sure. I'm going to be buying him and maybe upgrading him as well. The toughest part is it's just finding out how these different players are going to fit into the scheme. So next we see Lorenzo Neal. He's a fullback, as there's probably not many people who are going to be using a fullback as a legend. I mean, that's kind of something that's just a hand that you're dealt and then you're going to try to maximize. But then again, who knows? Maybe the fullback will be key in schemes this year and will make all the difference. Not likely, but who knows? Next up we see Steve Hutchinson. He's a left guard, and again, that's like a rich man's thing to be able to put a lot of money into a guard. His stats are decent. I mean, he's got them pretty balanced with the different run stats, so that's not bad. He does seem like a good one if you do have the coins early in the game to target an offensive line, or maybe you are rolling with a really run-heavy scheme, so having an offensive line makes sense. Maybe you're using him. Next up, we got Willie Rofe. I'm actually not sure if I'm saying that right because I don't really remember how it was ever said, if I've ever even heard it in any game. And again, he's a left tackle and he seems, decent. He seems good as well. Like I was saying, same thing with any offensive line. If you've got the coins to invest in that earlier on, then you probably have a pretty decent team or you're going run heavy. So we see his deeper stats look, mediocre. Next up is Bruce Smith, another returning legend, and I'm a huge Bills fan, so it's always great to see a Bill like that from the 90s, the era when I was super young and following them and seeing them do well. And his card doesn't look as good as last year. We'll see. Maybe it's one of those things where it's going to perform, and maybe it is nice compared to some of the other ends that are out there in the game. Next up, we see Ted Hendricks. So he's good. Using him as an outside linebacker on the rush. Probably not as good in the 4-3, which I will see myself using, so I'm going to look for more of a coverage linebacker there. But he has pretty good stats for sending some heat at the quarterback, so he can definitely get some pressure, and it'll be great to use for you in those kind of situations. If you do have him, you might want to sub him out when you're into coverage situations. Put a better outside linebacker who can play that. Next up is Derek Brooks, who's a right outside linebacker. He has decent coverage stats, 77 man coverage and 81 zone coverage, so better. I don't think that's really what you're looking for. in and outside linebacker. It's in the medium level. It's probably fine, but you could probably find some upgrades for sure at that position. And of course, the last one is Sean Taylor, back in the game again. It's always awesome to see him. It wouldn't be mud without Sean Taylor in the game. So his stats are looking pretty solid as well. I think he's probably one of at least the top 10, if not top 5 cornerbacks out of the gate in the game. So he's one that you might want to target. I feel like maybe they could have given him a bit better stats as well, but there's only room for him to grow. Who knows? Maybe he'll want to be one of the first legends to get an upgrade in another set. So I'm going to break down some other different sets later on here in Madden 19 as we lead up to the game launching in less than a week. So I've been Time Bomb. Hit that like button, hit subscribe if you hadn't, and I'll catch you guys later.